today talk about um, our new V series laptops, the NVIDIA variants of it. We have an exciting announcement about Qubes OS, and I'll also discuss some other features that we are planning. Yeah, so first of all, a little introduction as always about NovaCustom. I was the founder of NovaCustom. We established this company back in 2015, and it's called NovaCustom since 2018. We are a custom laptop supplier from the Netherlands. For example, we offer our laptops with custom laser engravings, and all the laptops we currently offer are available with the Dasharo coreboot firmware. We supply our laptops with both with Windows and GNU Linux, or even both at the same time. We are privacy and security focused, and we highly value the right to repair and sustainability. And you can find all our main points on our website, novacustom.com. Let's see. So yeah, today we'll show you a bit about our roadmap. We have an upcoming model that we will get certified with Qubes OS, which is something we've waited for a long time, but finally happens. Intel boot card is something that we would like to introduce for our laptops. Also, something that we'll talk about is the Dasharo ACPI driver that we are planning, and of course, UEFI capsule updates. Piotr talked already about it. And also would like to discuss something about the HATS firmware variant. So, yes. So the achievements of this quarter is that we are now part of the right to repair community in Europe. We also have had the initial release of the new V series laptops that I'll show you in a minute. The NVIDIA variants, we are still working on those. We will have Qubes OS certification for our new V56 Series laptop. And we have something to party because we now offer the Dasharo coreboot firmware for all the models that we offer. And in the next quarter, we will finalize all the repair guides and video tutorials. Of course, this is nice because if you have something that you would like to repair on your own, you can just follow our repair guides or video tutorials. And also we have share parts that you can buy online through our website. After that, we will have comprehensive firmware updates, which will probably be next year. I'm not sure on the timeline on this. This of course highly depends on what Dasharo can, or I mean DreamLab can deliver to us. But what we would like to have integrated is UEFI capsule updates. Well, our main goal of that is to get support again for FWUPD. So we also would like to have Intel boot guard integrated in our laptops, but optionally, so that enthusiasts and developers can still have their laptop without the platform fused. The Dasharo ACPI driver is something we're working on, and of course, as always, in new firmware updates, we will also have bug fixes. So yeah, let me show you again our new V56 series, which we are now finalizing for full certification and support for Qubes OS. And the certification will be applied on the Intel only variants, so not yet for the NVIDIA variants. We are focusing on those later. It's a 16-inch laptop with Intel Meteor Lake processor. It's the 12.5H or the 16.5H. Yes, so this Cube Stress certification that is coming will be there for the full HD screen display variant. I just got a message from Marek from CubeSys that maybe the QHD Plus would also be certified, but yeah, this is in a final state and this has to be tested a bit. It's only the certification will only be applied for the 16-inch model and not yet for the V54 series. This is there's one issue with the screen panel that blocks a certification on that model. And well, later on, probably next year, we would also like to have HATS firmware on this laptop. That would be really nice, but we still have to discuss that. So here are some more pictures of this relatively new laptop series, and there's also a 14-inch version of it, which is the V54 series. Then let me tell you something about Intel Boot Guard, which is a security feature that we would like to have integrated, which works with an eFuse so that it can only run firmware that has been signed by either us or FreeMDEP. I don't know how this exactly work with these keys, but the main goal is to protect against rootkits. So as I said, this will be an optional feature. Probably when upgrading your firmware, you will be asked if you want to fuse your platform. And we not only would like to have this with keys that come from either us or Dasharo, but also for custom keys, so that you can sign your firmware yourself. Then something we would also like to introduce is the Dasharo ACPI driver, which Dasharo is working on, which is for the communication between the OS and the firmware to monitor and also set the fan speed, also to view the CPU temperature, setting certain profiles for example, for the power management and the battery charge thresholds. You would also be able to have feedback on your screen when you're, for example, are changing the intensity of your keyboard backlight. So these are, well, I'd say small things that would improve your how's it called, user experience. So the UEFI capsule updates, that's something we would like to introduce. Until now, it was always the embedded controller that was blocking, but now we've seen in a few release candidates already some working variants of flashing the embedded controller through coreboot, which means that it will be possible to just flash the main SPI, and as a result, the embedded controller firmware would be flashed automatically upon first boot. So when we would have this UEFI capsules mechanism integrated, that means that without even disabling certain security features, we could still offer firmware updates directly from the OS. And we hope to introduce this somewhere in the first quarter of next year. So yeah, then again, I would like to show you the coreboot plus HATS variant we currently offer for our NV41 series. We would like to offer these as well for the V54 series and the V56 series, but we don't have any plans on this yet. So this is under the Dasharo entry subscription, which currently is €80 a year, but it is likely that it will be increased. We are still having discussions on this. So HATS offers a boot integrity verification method, and it does it with measured boots, which provide cryptographic hashes for each boot component, and it uses the TPM to securely store and attest these hashes. And you will need a nitro key in our case to do the verification of your boot process. And you can also use TOTP and authenticator to have a kind of double verification method. And that's perfect in combination with Qubes OS, because Qubes doesn't provide support for UEFI secure boot. So as always, I would like to take this opportunity to engage everyone to report issues on GitHub, because without your reports, we do not know about any issues, and we cannot solve them either. You can use our NovaCustom forum for general discussions and for support, and you can also use Matrix to chat with either us or the developers of Dasharo. So yeah, that was it. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Basil. I just want to say that I have my own. I don't know if this is visible.
Yeah, you've received it. Yeah.
Yes.
You still have to maybe post it on social media.
Yeah. So to be honest, I didn't work on it yet. So it's like booting to UEFI shell. So one thing that definitely we have to change, improve, is something that I saw that UEFI shell is essentially eliminated from the ecosystem, and all the distributions remove the UEFI shell, for example, from QEMU. And this is because they found out that by playing with tool, which is available in UEFI shell, you can bypass UEFI secure boot. So this is something that we have to just. I don't know how this should look like, because if you're selling without the operating system, you should probably land directly into UEFI boot menu, into UEFI menu, and that's it. So that's what happened. But this is very new thing. This I just realized that, I don't know, like week ago or something.
Okay.
So this is very new thing. And to be honest, if you configure everything correctly, there's no threat to you, because if you log the menu and there is no way to use UEFI shell, then that's correct way of doing it.
I'm wondering how popular the UEFI integrated shell is anyways.
Yeah, it's very popular among developers, not very popular among users, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I didn't touch this laptop yet. It's still waiting for me. I just wanted to complete the presentation for the Dasharo user group, and then I will start doing the presentation for the Qubes OS Summit about UEFI secure boot, and I hope to try something on this laptop. Yeah.
Sure.
Try to not break it.
Yeah, I hope so. Especially if you're going to play with Intel boot card, right?
Yeah. I guess Intel boot card maybe not yet, but in long run, UEFI secure boot would be first one. But anyway, thank you very much. This is great device. I'm very happy that Dasharo is the BIOS for this device.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I see one question, Jamie. Will the driver be upstream to Linux? And I believe I've seen some discussions on GitHub about doing so. So I think yes, it will. But I have to check on the ticket.
Does anyone have thoughts on the device trust ideas I presented at last VPub?
No. What's correct? What's the context?
I don't know. I guess just hoping that those things could get off the ground someday, especially for like the NVIDIA models and things like that.
Yeah. I guess right now fighting with the NVIDIA models is like on different ground. So it's very hard to do security without compatibility. So
yeah, my thought was
cannot,
if you have an iGPU and a DGPU, you just boot with the DGPU off, and then it's up to the OS to do what it wants with it.
yes, but you still have to have correct. So, for example, what if someone would like to enable it, or you want to force everyone to like as a default, or maybe not as a default, which cannot be changed? Do you think something like that? Disable the NVIDIA GPU as a something that
my thought was that you
change?
have all of your outputs connected to the iGPU, and then the DGPU is just is headless and is used as an accelerator.
I don't know. I didn't bought device with the NVIDIA. Didn't thought about that, but maybe I don't know, Wessel, if you know about that. What's the connection? If the outputs are connected to the integrated or to the NVIDIA, how this works, or do you know that?
I don't know. So Michael should answer that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should
just
probably.
Or like in the use cases I can think of, you want the DGPU. You don't want your boot stuff on the DGPU. You want the boot stuff on the built-in display that the iGPU is connected to. And so the DGPU is simply not needed until it's assigned to a VM, and then it's up to the VM's virtual firmware to initialize
that's fine. That's fine if you have CPU which got iGPU integrated. There are CPUs which don't have that. We had these problems on MSI, but we can see in the HCL reports there are some people that were able to successfully boot those devices.
Okay,
I would say like this:
initialization
and allocation of the memory for the GPUs at boot time is definitely something which is challenge. But I guess there is even more about that, which probably person responsible for developing support should tell more about. But I guess we have to wait either for Michał with that question, or maybe ask on the Dasharo channel, so we will know more about the context of the problems we had there.
Gotcha.
So if I correctly understood, you would like to have the ability to use the laptop also without a dedicated graphics card enabled.
What I want is to be able to is for the dedicated graphics card to be treated as permanently untrusted until Qubes boots, and then I can assign it to a guest.
Okay. Yeah, that's I don't know. So yeah, like I said, Michael should.
And then while the system boots, the network during boot, network USB and the disk and the DGPU are effectively not there.
Yeah, but what's with the memory allocation? Like who's allocating?
Why would that be needed? Isn't that the job of the?
Isn't that needed for the initialization of the? Why you're doing the PCI enumeration and initialization of the all PCI devices?
I was thinking you would just say this thing's in slot X, but otherwise ignore it, and then just when it gets assigned to a guest, it's the guest's virtual firmware's responsibility to do things like run option ROMs. And
so, Demi, I think we can continue the discussion. Just let me close the Dasharo user group and let's switch to VPUB. So people who's coming, for example, for the talk, which should be at the 8 p.m. CST,
sure.
would know what's going on, because I see people coming and leaving, and just like want to inform those who coming for the Regalis talk.